All right, so we're going to get started with the steps of the sale training. But before we do get started, please make sure that you do have a text editor open. And at the very top, I want you to put this in there. I want you to write down consistency creates credibility. Credibility creates gross. So what that means is you need a process. You need a way to go with every single customer every single time. You're going to do it the same exact way. So what that gives you is that consistency. So consistency is something that you can measure. When you have something that you can measure, then you can change things and see if they work better or if they don't work better. And then you can go with whatever's working better. So think about that while you're going through this training, and also think about when you're dealing with people, how are we connecting? Do we connect just as a salesperson to a customer, or are we connecting as people? That's what this training is really going to allow you to do, and I give you deeper insights into dealing with people. And the beautiful thing about that is you're going to be able to benefit from this not only in your day-to-day interactions with customers, but in your day-to-day interactions with everybody else too. That's the person at the coffee house, that's your family at home, parents, relatives, I mean, you name it. That's exactly what we're talking about, is connecting with people on a level that's much deeper than what you're doing right now. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's go ahead and move into the steps of the sale. Before we get started, go ahead and make sure that you have a text editor open so that you can take notes. Once you are completed with the training, go ahead and send me your notes to the email that's in the link that's in the email that I sent you, and then I can read through them. We'll schedule a time to have an interview, and then I can help get you placed. Make sure that you complete the quiz at the end of each video. That will give you the link to the next video, and then you can go ahead and continue to move forward. So let's go ahead and move through the steps of the sale. Now, this is our framework that we use to interact with customers every single day. It's a process that you'll be able to measure your results and try different things and use what is working. But the most important thing is the process itself. Have a process so that you can measure your results and you can be more successful in the future. So let's go ahead and get started here. Our first step is the meet and greet. This is where you get a chance to become a person instead of just a car salesman. Now, people would rather statistically go get a root canal than deal with a car salesperson. So do you want to be a car salesperson, or do you want to just be a person who's trying to help? So during the meet and greet, we're going to find out who they are, we're going to find out why they're here, and how we can best help them. Smile, have fun, make it fun for the customer so that they enjoy the experience too. Then we're going to move on to our fact finding. In fact finding, you're going to ask open-ended questions. You're going to get them talking, and find out who they are, what they want, figure out what their needs are, and how we're going to work with them, because you're going to deal with different people every single day, and you're not going to be able to work with all of them exactly the same. So make sure that you're paying attention and you figure out how to best deal with this person in particular through this process. Once we find out what exactly it is that they're looking for, then we're going to develop a few options in our minds. I start with the least expensive first, and then we'll move to the next expensive, the kind of middle, and then the most expensive is the third one that I will show them. Between those options, we'll say, which one do you think is going to suit you the best? And then we're going to present that vehicle. When you're presenting the vehicle, you want to present from the customer's perspective. And what that means is you want to know what their hot buttons are. If it's performance, safety, appearance, durability, economy, whatever the case is, you want to make sure that you're presenting from that perspective. Because if you have an economy buyer and you're showing them all the performance features and you're focusing on that, you're probably not going to communicate on the level that is going to lead to a successful outcome. So make sure that you are speaking their language. You're presenting the vehicle from their perspective. Use their dominating buying motives as part of your presentation, and really touch on how it's going to be a benefit to them. The presentation itself should only take about 5 to 10 minutes. You don't need to take 45 minutes to go over every single thing on the car. We're going to do that later. So once we presented the vehicle, then we're going to go ahead and go on a demo drive. Now you need to get a copy of their driver's license. You need to get their phone number and verify that the address on their driver's license is correct. You might get an email address. That's really kind of up to you. You're going to want to get an email address later for sure, but if you can do it before the test drive, that's typically the easiest time to get it. So when we're getting ready to go on our demo drive, you're going to drive the car off the lot. There's literally millions of dollars of cars right on that lot there, and the customer sitting in the car, they're not all the way familiar with it. You don't want them to bump into another car or two. So you drive the car off the lot, take the car to a location that is away from the dealership, like a Walmart parking lot or somewhere where you're going to have lots of space. You can do another small secondary presentation of the car off of the lot. That gives you a chance to kind of highlight some of the really cool features. And then go ahead and hop back in the car. When you're going for the ride, make sure that you are, not talking the whole time that they're driving the car. Be quiet, let them enjoy the experience, and more point out key features of the car. Hey, you notice how quiet it is in here. I don't have to scream at you over the road noise. Or, what do you think about the stereo system? How do you like the layout of the dashboard? Point out some of those features and have a nice discussion while you're out on the demo drive. Now when you get back from the demo drive, what I like to do is just tell them, okay, well, here, go ahead and park in the sold lane. Now the sold lane could be anything. It could just be a parking spot, up close to the showroom. It could be, a line of cars that are kind of next to the showroom. But when you say sold lane, it kind of infers that this car is sold. And if they say, well, no, I don't need to park this one in the sold lane, okay, no problem. Just here, go ahead and park it over there. That's fine. But it gives you some indication of if this is the right car or not. If you say go ahead and park in the sold lane and they pull right into the spot that they tell you, or that you tell them, you got a good shot at this is probably the right car. So make sure that this is the right car. Once you get back, then you want to actually ask them if this is the one that they want to buy. And what I used to like to do is hey, what do you think this car would fit in your driveway? And if they say yes, then I'd say, okay, great, let's go find out what it would take to make that happen. And then okay, we're buying a car. You might ask, well, is this the one that you want? Is this the one that we'll make a deal on? There's a few different ways to approach it, but you just have to confirm with them and get a commitment, yes, this is the right car. So we'll go ahead and bring them inside. We're going to sit them down. We'll get some information from them. We're going to present their buying options. So you can purchase, you can lease, you can pay cash. If you put this much money down, this is what your payment would be. Reinforce with them that this is a good decision. It's the right car. It's got the features that they want. And keep getting those small commitments from the customer. Was that the right car? Is everything right as far as that's concerned? And find out whatever objections that there are and overcome those objections and make a car deal. Then we're going to go ahead and deliver the vehicle. And that doesn't mean that we're going to take it out to their house. We're going to drop it off. We're going to deliver the car to them at the dealership, and then they're going to go ahead and take it home. But understand, this is your last chance to leave a great impression. This is where you become their guy, right? So that when somebody else notices that car and it's like, oh my gosh, that thing's really nice. Where'd you get that? Well, I got it over, at this dealership, and this is the guy that I bought it from. This is my guy. If I ever need anything, this is who I'm going to go to. Answer any remaining questions. Make sure that they understand how to use every feature on the vehicle. Set up any services that need to be set up on the car. Like if you have OnStar or CarNet or any of those types of features on the car, make sure they understand how to use the radio, they understand how to use the cruise control, they understand how to use the trip computers. There's a lot of technology on cars today, so we want to make sure that they don't have any questions. And before they leave, make sure they know your name. Think about how often this happens. When you meet somebody for the first time and you forget their name in the first 20 seconds. That's kind of embarrassing, right? So before they leave, you want to make sure that they know who you are, they know your name, And if anybody asks them, hey, where'd you get that? Well, I bought it from so-and-so over at this dealership, right? So that's a big deal. Make sure that they know your name. And then once you've delivered the vehicle, you want to make sure that you continue to follow up with these people because, again, you're their guy. So if they're in the market again for another car, they're going to come to you first. If they know anybody who's looking for a car, they're going to send it to you first. And how we do that is this. If I sell a car before 5 o'clock, I'm going to call them that night and make sure, hey, how was your trip home? Was everything okay? Everything was good? Yep, perfect. Do you have any questions? No. Great. I'm going to call you in 2 days, and I'm going to check in again. So when you set up that next follow-up, then when you call them 2 days later, you're not intruding. You're not pestering them. It's something that you already told them they were going to do. They're expecting it. So then 2 days later, you call them up, say, hey, how you doing? How's the car? Did you have any other questions? Nope, everything's perfect. Great. I'm going to call you in 3 days and make sure that everything's still okay. Perfect. Call them in 3 days again. And it's not like, oh my gosh, why is this guy pestering me? Why is he bugging me? You are concerned. You are concerned that they are happy with their vehicle, they're happy with their purchase, but that's how you do it, is you got to make sure that you set up those follow-up calls, and then those calls are not difficult to make. All right? Okay, great. So that concludes this video. Now below the video, make sure that you go ahead and complete the quiz and submit the quiz, and then you're going to get copies of all the answers. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at any time. I love getting the feedback and any additional content that we should include in ongoing training in the future. So go ahead and complete the quiz. We'll see you on the next video.